The YXZ parade car will pull off to the side on the end of that lap as they're leading up to that big arch, and we'll see a green flag come out, and that will be the official start of the race. So it is a rolling start. It's a rolling start here in Lena. This is a high-speed run right here. It's dropping down into that left-hand bowl. He's going to protect the inside. See, he chose to drop down hard on the brakes and then cut inside.
So as they come around for lap number 2, let's see who it is. I believe it's Jeremy Huell. It is out front. Scott Waz. Now, Scott won at Crivets a few months ago in the Frozen Lake up at Crivets, Wisconsin. He is in second. Rodney Van Epperen, who broke earlier today, remember?
Oh, yeah.
In the modified class, he is running third. Kyle Greaves, Johnny's, I believe Johnny's brother, actually. Ken Mosh in fifth. Blake Enlow, Jake Lunderby, Zach Zakowski, and Brennan.
Man, that Textron's looking good, but look how rigid that thing is, man. That thing looks like it doesn't have any shocks in it whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
So the YXE, of course, jumping off the jump, the tires drop down. One of the advantages you can, with that stiff suspension, is that you can throw it into a turn and she'll stay pretty flat.
So it's Huell out front, Scott Waz, Van Epperen right there, Kyle Greaves, Kenny Mosh, Blake Enlow, Jake Lunderby. All these guys have been racing the Tour, Tim. I know all these names, and they've been going at it. So they are racing on the brand new track here, Dirt City Motorplex in Lena, Wisconsin, and that was Waz getting kicked up there, trying to make a pass, actually. He had the speed, but he got a big kick in the rear end, and he was almost over the front of the front wheels, straight up and down. So he's trying to make a move. It is still Huell, Waz, Van Epperen right there in third in your picture.
Man, they're all piled in here really tight. So protecting the inside line, you see that? He dove it in hard, hit on the brakes, and then decided to stay in tight to the inside. He protected his line, which in turn backed everybody else up. But what it also does is it bunches the crowd up behind him. So there's going to be a bunch of people fighting for fourth, fifth, or third and fourth right here. They're going to bunch everybody up. Outside of that turn has really fallen away. Everybody's drifting to that outside, and there's a big drop-off off the right-hand side of it. Everybody's dipping into that. Still can't get over how stiff that Textron looks like. Yeah, so coming into the left-hand turn, the Textron's still looking good. Jeremy Huell pulling off, looking sharp. The motor's pulling hard. And, of course, Waz not giving him any room whatsoever.
So Huell has pulled away just a little bit. He has half a second ahead of Waz. There's Waz coming into our picture right now. And then you have Van Epperen, Kyle Greaves having a great drive, I should say. Ken Mosh right there in fifth. Ken drove up from Texas. He's trying to get this thing on the podium. Blake Enlow, Lunderby. The competition yellow is out.
Yes.
And it is Huell, Waz, Van Epperen, Greaves, Mosh, and Enlow, your top 5. This is going to be interesting. Let's see what happens here.
So the top 4, Dave, it didn't even look like we did a competition caution on it at all. Those two dudes were stacked up nose to tail pretty daggone tight. But it's going to bring in the rest of the crew in behind them. Of course, they're going to be really tight. They're going to kick off the green flag again, coming back around right here.
Yeah,
so
momentarily.
They're down in the bull turn. This is where it's going to tighten up. So everybody's going to be nose to tail. Then it's going to be off racing again. So we're going to keep an eye out also for the split line. Of course, Huell doing it inside and outside several different ways and making it all happen. So let's see if we get different options coming out of Waz and see if he can make the number 2 position turn into a number 1.
All right, so they're off and running for the last 6 laps for our Pro Stock main event. And it is still Huell, Waz right there in the 41, the red and white YXC. Then you got Van Epperen. Let's see who has sneaked into. There is the 5 of Kenny Mosh now up to 4th. But he's got some competition. Kyle Greaves, Blake Enlow trying to sneak in there. That's the back straight, Tim, as they head down the back straight.
Big tabletop on that back line. Pretty cool watching them fly that. Then they're wide open all the way down into this sweeper.
Yep.
Yeah, and then
drop down
to the fadeaway into the bull turn.
Yeah, Jeremy's jumping down, and he's pulling away just a little bit on Waz. Now Waz actually closes up in the corners a little bit.
He does, yes. And I guarantee you it has a lot to do with suspension because that that Textron coming down into the corners, he's hard on the brakes, and of course that car's bouncing all around because the tires aren't hitting the ground, and that YXZ looks like it's set up pretty decent.
So it's Hool, Waz, Van Eperen still third. Lunderby's actually moved up to fourth. Ken Mosh fifth. Kyle Greaves dropped back to sixth. Brennan Stover is seventh. Blake Enlow. Thomas Blanton has moved up to ninth. Joe Dressel is 10th. Matt Bond, Rory Navin, Zach Zakowski is 13th. Gabe Johnson, Bill Berger 15th. So here we go down the back straight with 4 laps remaining. It is Jeremy Hool, Scott Waz, who remember won at Crivets back in January. He's got to try to get this one and stay involved. The king of the elements, the Triple Crown, the money, the trophy, all that. He's got to get going. Yeah, but Jeremy Hool is on it right now in that 54. Yep.
And that thing's bucking like a wooden horse too. It's tough to watch. Anyway, you see the Yamaha drop down nose heavy, and the Textron left nose high coming off that. I know Waz is getting. He's pretty much got a lap full of all the dirt coming off of Hugh
right now. He's getting roosted, isn't he?
He's getting roosted. I wonder if he's through his tear-offs yet or not, or he's just sucking it up, man. I know he comes down in this corner super tight on him, and then he's trying to pull a different line. He's going to swing outside, then he might go inside out. He's trying everything he can.
He is.
But Huell's doing an awesome job staying out front.
He is. So the Dirt Syndicate YXZ of Scott Waz trying to make a move, but Jeremy Hool looking good out front. It says Textron, but you know, it's an Arctic Cat, it's a Textron, and might even be a Tracker right now. There's 3 different brands we're trying to figure it out. They're all one brand altogether.
Yes, they are.
It's gone through a few changes there, but they're trying to get that dialed in. It out front is Jeremy Hool in that car right there, and he is on it. A few laps to go. 2 laps to go, that is.
2 laps to go. That's it, man. So it's make it or break it time, man.
It is.
If you're Waz, what do you do in this situation? Do you just
gotta find it? I'd try a different option line if I was him, and he's not close enough right there. Here we got a battle. Is Van Eperen and the 55 of Lunderby's on it right now. Lunderby trying to make a move on Van Eperen for that final podium spot. No way! Scott Waz gets around Jeremy Hool. What happened there? And Hool, something's up with Hool, because here comes Van Eperen and here comes Lunderby. Let's try to get a replay of what happened. Something is going on with Jeremy Hool. His car still has power, but not much. He is dropping back quickly, and he is out of it. Scott Waz, we were just talking about him. He won at Crivets a few months ago. He's got 1 lap to go, Tim, and he could win another one here.
This is awesome, unbelievable. So anything can happen. You know, you could drive, you could work out every day, eat all the right food. If you have a mechanical, man, then it just throws everything away. Right there, the last lap.
White flag is out for Scott Waz. Rodney Van Eperen is closing in. I don't know. He is 0.7 back. Then you got Jake Lunderby. Jeremy Hool, it says he's in 4th still. There he is. So he's in the mix, but it doesn't look like he's under full power. Something going on. And Ken Mosh is sneaking up on him. Kyle Greaves. There's Hool right there. Now he looks like he's all good again. Weird. So it is Waz with about 3 corners to go. It's Scott Waz, Rodney Van Eperen. Here comes Rodney, and also Lunderby. Lunderby trying to get in there. Rodney's on it right now. Tim, this could be good. We have 3 corners to go. It's Waz, Van Eperen, and Lunderby. Van Eperen trying to make a move. Scott Waz has got some lap traffic here.
That plays a huge factor. You got tires dead. We're coming back up.
This corner,
down into our bull corner.
The bull corner.
Last turn.
Van Eperen trying to make a move.
Oh boy!
And he bumps him. Oh, he should have done something there. Coming down to the finish. It is gonna be
lap traffic.
Scott Waz with the checkers. Rodney Van Eperen right there in Lunderby.
Man, right on his back corner. That could not have been any closer. So Lunderby pulling in the 3rd. What a great finish by all 3 drivers. Of course, lap traffic playing in a huge factor, and that's another reason why we stack them all up halfway through the course, is so we don't have a bunch of lap traffic, people having issues and so forth, holding up the leaders. But the leaders are going at such a fast pace, caught them right there at the end. So Waz, Van Eperen, and Lunderby.
Hool ends up 4th somehow. We gotta get down and talk with him. Ken Mosh is 5th. Kyle Greaves is 6th. Blake Enlow 7th. Brennan Stover ends up 8th. Zach Zakowski 9th, and Thomas Blanton 10th. Tim, an awesome pro stock main event. All right, we're getting ready to go. This is our Pro Stock side-by-side main event. Waz, Van Eperen, Lunderby, Jeremy Houle, Ken Mosh, Kyle Greaves, Blake Enlow, Brennan Stover, Zach Zakowski, Thomas Blanton, Matt Wood, Bill Berger, Matt Bond, Rory Navin, Joe Dressel, just some of the drivers we also have out there. Ferguson, Gabe Johnson, Otterson, Klaas, Schwellenbach on the Cyclecraft Yamaha, Grave Doney, Carlson, and Robert Loire. I heard Robert's out of this one. Here we go. This is a Pro Stock. Yep, green flag into the first turn. Tim, who do we got?
Van Eperen out
it
front
is.
already. Scott Waz in 2. Here we go. Here's that split line we were talking about. Look how high.
Oh, Waz is pushing. Yeah. Oh, he lost a ton of time.
Yep. So there it is right there. There's that polished spot. He had the front wheels cranked all the way. Couldn't get her turned. That might have just ate him 2 positions.
Still comes into the turn in third and causes. Oh, who goes upside down? That was a 94, I believe. 54? No, that wasn't Houle. Who was that? There's 5 of Ken Mosh having some troubles. The 98, was that Enlow maybe? Wow.
Well, could be Enlow.
Let's go to our Toyota Instant Replay and see what happened here. Walk me through this one.
So coming in on the brakes, he takes the inside line hard on the brakes, takes a punch in the back, and then all of a sudden drivers behind him have nowhere to go.
94.
94, and just had absolutely nowhere to go. And of course, rides up the back tire, stalls out.
Pro Stock side-by-side main event. Getting ready to go, and green flag there, racking them up, stacking them up. There it is.
Green flag. Ooh, they're in tight too, boy. So this first corner has been biting some folks. Let's see how this works out.
Now hold this one tight right here. Someone's
So
going
right
outside.
You're losing a ton of time all the way on the outside. Boy, that thing is greasy.
But it sets you up pretty good in this corner here.
That it does.
Let's see where he ends up. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. It almost did right there. That almost the same exact thing happened.
Oh.
It is Van Eperen out front. Look at Rodney go. Scott Waz, Lunderby, Houle, Ken Mosh. That was at the start. So let's see what happens as we re-rack them here. Lap number 2. It's actually, yeah, well, it is lap number 2. So we're going to get them going here as they come down into the big bowl corner right in front of us. And they take that left-hand turn to come back up. I see Scott Waz there, the 41 in second.
Ooh, this is a good run right
Rodney's out front, man. He's checking out right now. Van Eperen. You got Lunderby in third, Houle in fourth, Kenny Mosh, Kyle Greaves, Zakowski, Berger. This is going to be good.
Check out this third, fourth. Okay, so the 4th place, that Arctic Cat or the Textron or whatever you want to, you pick your manufacturer. Ooh, that's a hard kicker coming still from that inside line over on the left. But the Textron taking the option line on the outside.
Yep.
One of the very few to do it. It seems like
That's
a lot
Houle.
of the drivers are choosing to go to the inside line on that.
So it's Van Eperen out front. The Power Sports 1 GYTR Yamaha ride is leading this one. He's got almost 2 seconds on Scott Waz, who won earlier today in this class. And Scott is looking to win this one. He also won in Crivets back in January, and he won earlier today.
Yeah.
So if Scott could pull this off, he'd be the only one in the mix for the King of the Elements and chasing the triple. And he is in second right now, but he's got some company behind him. Lunderby, Houle, Kenny Mosh, Zach Zakowski, Kyle Greaves up there as well, so he's got to get going. Waz is looks like he's struggling a little in some of those corners as he's got Lunderby right on his tail. But Waz is the only driver that can do it right now to take the King of the Elements, and he's looking good. Don't get me wrong, but it looks like he's pushing in some of these corners and having a little trouble. Here comes the 55 of Lunderby.
55 Lumberby's really pushing on him hard, and that's making him push hard into the corners and making him push wide. So you can catch him some of the times. The front tires are still locked up sideways. Cars pushing forward, just trying to get that thing to turn. So this corner not so bad. And of course the big bowl turn directly after this. So they'll do this big floater down into the bowl turn, and they're all staying down to the inside. They're trying to protect that inside line, so they're not going to drift outside to the big soft stuff. That'll slow them down. Now kicking off to the right, here's that big floater, big single right there at the finish line. Now here's the corner in question, this left-hand turn. It's super slick down there, so they're having a tiptoe and they all choose to go to the inside. Nobody's going outside any longer. Looks like that particular section has gone away far enough to where it's not fast any longer.
Yeah, that dry inside line looks like that's where they're trying to stay in there and not get pushed out too much. So it's Van Eperen leading still, Scott Waz, Jake Lunderby, Jeremy Houle, Kyle Greaves is 5th, Zakowski 6th, Bill Berger, Kent Mosch has dropped back to 8th. Matt Wood, Brennan Stover round out the top 10. Robert Loire there is 15th, so he is in the mix there. All right, here comes Waz, here comes Lunderby. This is 2nd and 3rd on your screen. Out front, Rodney Van Eperen, just down the road in Appleton is where he comes from, and he's friends with the Greaves and all of them, so not a far drive for Rodney Van Eperen. His son was racing earlier today in the sportsman class. Here comes the 54. Let's keep an eye on Houle. Jeremy Houle's on the gas right now.
Totally is.
And trying to sneak in, yeah. Oh, Rodney!
No.
Rodney's got something.
No, they broke him down.
Oh, they did. You're right. You're right. I thought Rodney had a problem.
I saw your heart drop out of you.
Did you see the flag? I missed the flag.
I know,
okay.
you were catching the drivers. I just poked up my eyes quick enough just to catch it. I was like, I had to talk you off the edge some. I was like, no, here we go.
Oh, I thought Rodney was having a problem. So this is going to be good. They're restacking them here in our competition yellow. So it's Rodney Van Eperen. Let's do our countdown. Rodney Van Eperen leading. Scott Waz 2nd. Jake Lunderby 3rd. Jeremy Houle, I'm keeping an eye on him.
Yes.
In 4th.
We're going back around for the restart, so they're all loading in right now. So now we got a green flag. They're off and running.
All right, this is the second half of this main event Pro Stock side-by-side main event presented by Yamaha Motor USA and the official pace vehicle, the YXZ 1000, and it is leading. It is in 2nd and it is in 3rd as you got Van Eperen, Waz, and Lunderby 1, 2, 3. Let's see what Waz can do. Rodney wants to pull one off. He got a 2nd earlier today. He had a little misfortune in the Pro Mod earlier today, and we had that one on camera.
Yes, we did.
And Scott Waz won this class earlier today. He also won in Crivets a few months ago on the ice. So Scott looking to bring home the king of the elements, and it looks like Rodney's pulling away again, once again here in early on in the second half of this race. As we're going green. Who is that in 3rd? Houle. Houle.
What is going on?
Oh, he's on. I'd keep an eye on him. He's on the gas right now.
He is. He's straight driving angry right now. He is on a mission.
So Lunderby drops to 4th. Kyle Greaves, Zakowski, Berger in there. Kenny Mosch trying to make a move as well. Oh, boy. The guy out front, it's Rodney Van Eperen, the Power Sports 1 Yamaha Motor USA GYTR ride. He is up front and kind of pulling away. Scott Waz is right there, though.
Houle.
On the Dirt Syndicate ride, yeah, Houle, keep an eye on him. He is hanging in 3rd and moving fast. Who's this on the inside on the left?
Ooh,
oh, nice move. The 55, that is Lunderby trying to get back in the mix after dropping to 4th. And then you have that 34, Kyle Greaves, and Zakowski in there. This is going to be a good one.
This is, man. This is 4 laps remaining, and I have a feeling that the gloves are coming off right now. There's going to be a little bit of loving going on. There's going to be some white cars with some green on it. There's going to be
some green with some blue. Good call. Van Eperen, Waz, Houle. Oh,
see that? That's the inside move, so that they pitch it in there and get that thing sideways and slow everybody up.
But look at that hole coming out of that corner.
Huge, dude. When you go down there and do the podium, I bet you that thing's probably
good. I'll check it.
2 feet.
I'll
big,
trip in it.
And then you will trip in it. And a big square edge on it. It's kicking up the inside.
Look at Rodney pulling away, man. He's got this track dialed right now. Waz and Houle having a great battle. There is Lunderby trying to sneak in that option section. Let's see where it sets him up. I think that could be. No, not going to happen.
Oh, goodness. It's
just close enough. Also, the pink ride. Zakowski's in there. Kyle Greaves. Kenny Mosch trying to make a move. The 90. There's Zakowski. Houle all over Waz here. Waz has got to get going here with 3 laps to go. He's the only one that can pull this off.
On the outside, see if Houle can just lay the power down on the outside.
He needs to just hold it wide, but he's going to set himself up outside here. That's not the chosen line. Well, maybe. Let's see.
See if he hangs it out around the outside, stays on the power.
Oh, sets him up inside.
Looks like that's it. That's it. There's the move.
What a move. That was great. Houle. Oh, everyone's hitting that hole. 2 laps to go, folks. 2 laps to go. Our Pro Stock main event. It is Rodney Van Eperen, Jeremy Houle, Scott Waz, Jake Lunderby. The man on the move is Houle, Jeremy Houle on the 54. Scott Waz is right there. There's going to be 1 to go next time. It's 1.5 right now.
So looks like there's the gap starting to shorten up a little bit between Van Eperen and Hool.
It is. He's closing in.
He's closing in.
There's no way with 1 to go.
So
I don't see it.
A second, a lap faster. Is that what I'm seeing? No.
No, 0.4.
0.4. So
right,
that's not enough to get it. I don't think, unless there's a mistake. That's just if everybody's staying consistent.
He's good in this corner right here, but look at those holes. Okay,
so,
watch a hole coming out of this corner right
here, going down
here.
That straightaway. Whack.
Boom.
Pow. The whole back end comes up. That thing is upsetting the whole chassis of that vehicle.
White flag is out. Final lap. It's Rodney Van Eperen, Jeremy Hool, Scott Waz, Jake Lunderby, Zach Zatkowski, Kyle Greaves, Kenny Mosh is 7th. Robert Loire up to 12th. All right, can Hool catch him, Tim?
I think he's running out of real estate. Track is getting shorter and shorter here by the second, and it's really going to take a mistake by Van Eperen, but anything could happen. Absolutely anything can happen. We've seen this.
Look behind here, the battle of 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You got Waz, Lunderby, and Zatkowski. I wonder why Waz is dropping off a little bit. He has got some company on his tail. We're going to focus on the leaders here with 3 corners to go. It is Van Eperen and Hool.
Hool's on the gas.
He's got to just pin it all the way.
Hool's got to hold it down to the wood.
And then he's got to smash him right here.
He's got to hold it down to the wood.
Here you go, here you go, here you go.
Oh,
so close. Not going to happen. Van Eperen gets a drive out of the corner. It is to the line, Tim. It is Rodney Van Eperen. Misses the hole and takes the win.
Nice work.
Jeremy Hool, 2nd. Here's the battle for 3rd. Let's hold it to the line. It's Scott Waz, Lunderby, Zatkowski. Wow.
And then Kyle Greaves rounding out the top 6. Mash in 7th. Berger in 8th. Klaus in 9th. And Matt Bond following in the 10th position. So there it is, your top 10. Van Eperen, wow, great run. Hool was hauling.
Hool was cool in that one for sure, ends up 2nd.
Man, Waz, of course, he was back and forth all over the place and doing a bunch of battle. Dave, you're going to run down and do some podiums down there.
All right, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you, Tim, and we are down here at the podium. We're going to call up our Pro Stock podium. Let's bring up 3rd place, Scott Waz, who won earlier today. He'll take 3rd in this one. That's going to be an interesting interview. We'll see what happens with him. And he'll take his trophy. He's still happy. Good to see. 2nd place, the man on the move, and that one is Jeremy Hool. Come on up, Jeremy. Great drive for you. And he'll end up 2nd. And the man that owned the Pro Stock class today, it's Rodney Van Eperen, taking the win and dominated that Pro Stock main event pretty much from start to finish. He checked out and is top of the podium. And they get the trophies and the money. All right, let's hear it for our Pro Stock podium. Make some noise for Scott Waz, Jeremy Hool, and your winner, Rodney Van Eperen. Let's move over to Jeremy Hool. Man, Jeremy, you are on the gas. 4th, 3rd, 2nd, end up 2nd here on the podium. Great drive.
Thanks, appreciate it. Little bittersweet. Felt like I left one out there in that first one. We had a steering rack go bad, but we came back, we battled it out, and almost got him in this one, but had a blast. Awesome facility, super excited to see what this is going to offer in the future. Appreciate everything Side by Side Sports did putting this together, and we're having a good time.
The rain is just starting to fall right now, so the timing couldn't have been better. Good call, Scott and Johnny and Kathy on that one. Well, Jeremy, good sponsors. Who do you want to thank?
I couldn't do it, without the whole crew at Speedwerx. Casey, my right-hand man, he's got my back no matter what. I can bring that thing back in pieces, and he'll get her back out on the track. Everybody at Trailer Motorsports for getting us here and supporting us 100%. Articat, ACX Lubricants, Raceline Wheels, Fox Shocks, Rugged Radios, Black Label Wrap Industries, PRP Seats, DynoJet, Wildcat Willys, and K1 Race Gear.
All right, that's Jeremy Hool finishing up 2nd.